Welcome to the Snow Australia SnowReady program. I'm Sammy and I'll be working out with you again today. How have you been enjoying this program so far? Hopefully you're noticing some physical improvements and even gaining a little extra knowledge too.
So sleep's your number one most important form of recovery, but something else that's really important is nutrition, and fueling your body for being out there on the hill is so important. So not only are we out there exerting ourselves physically and burning lots of energy, but we're also out in the elements in the cold and sometimes in climates that make you really dehydrated. So it's really important to fuel your body adequately and stay hydrated so that you can have all the energy out there to spend as much time on snow as you want.
But let's get stuck into our warm-up. Keep the warm-up at a steady pace. You don't have to go all out just yet. Allow the muscles to slowly warm up and stretch out as you get your body moving. We've been doing stretching at the end of our sessions, but if you'd like to, feel free to add some in before you exercise. Just make sure you complete a warm-up first and do some shorter stretches if your muscles are feeling tight. Let's keep moving on to our injury prevention part of the warm-up, so just pause and stretch for a few minutes if you need to. When we are doing our injury prevention work, remember what we have learnt the past few weeks about changing direction and staying low to the ground to help with our agility, and landing safely to absorb forces and stay balanced. Okay everyone, now we're all warmed up, let's get going with our strength program again. Don't forget we have the beginner, intermediate and advanced levels of all these exercises. Starting with leg work today, we have sumo squats. Use the different levels to progress yourself, and if you find it's too big of a jump, increase the reps or resistance. A sumo squat is a wide stance squat. Start with your legs slightly wider than hip width apart and your toes pointing outwards about 45 degrees. As you flex at the hips and bend your knees, keep your knees pointing outwards so your knees travel in the same direction as your toes. Your bottom should be poking out behind you. Remember to keep your back straight, your chest up, and keep looking straight ahead. Avoid arching your lower back, as this can cause some lower back pain. For our beginner option, keep going nice and slowly with your own body weight. 10 reps, then rest. For our intermediate option, add a resistance band around your knees. Then repeat nice and slowly for 10 reps before stopping for a rest, using whatever resistance band you feel comfortable with. For our advanced option, again, use that resistance band around your knees, and then as you squat down, pause at the bottom and do 3 to 4 small pulses up and down, then straighten up again. That is 1 rep, repeat 10 times. Fantastic work everyone! Who's feeling the burn in their quads now? Shake those legs out and we'll give them a rest for the moment while we start our upper body strength work. We have some dynamic push-ups. To make these a little more dynamic and challenging, we're going to add a clap to our push-ups. As you straighten your elbows to push back up, use a little more force, lift both hands off the floor or wall, clap your hands together once, and quickly put them back down into their starting position. Repeat this 6 times, then have a rest. Let's try and complete 4 sets. Great work everyone! Moving on to our next leg strength exercise. Hopefully you're feeling full of energy. We're going to progress our split squats that we learnt a few weeks ago. Split squats are a great lower body exercise. They are extremely versatile. There's many variations of them and they work all of the lower leg muscles at once. Increased resistance can easily be added with bands or with weights. For today, our beginner option is a step up from a few weeks ago. Standing with feet together, take one step forward into a split squat. Then push back up to finish with both feet together again. Repeat on the other side, and that's 1 rep. Remember to keep your back straight and your head looking forward. Try to land with your heel on the front foot and keep the foot flat on the ground as your back foot raises onto its toes. Both knees should be at right angles. Don't let the front knee move forwards over the toes. Our intermediate option today is the lateral or sideways split squat. Start with your feet together again, then step sideways, keeping the toes on the stepping leg facing straight ahead. Land on your toes and lower the stepping foot down flat. As your weight transfers to one side, bend the knee on that side to lower yourself down again towards the ground. Your other knee, the one that stayed still, should remain straight. Then push yourself back up to finish with feet together back in your starting position. Our advanced option today is quite challenging. It's also known as a Bulgarian split squat. Standing in a split squat stance, place your back foot up on a bench or a chair. Keeping your back straight and your head looking forward, slowly bend the front knee, lowering yourself towards the floor. Make sure your front foot is far enough away from your bench so that when your front knee bends, it stays behind your toes. Push through the front leg to straighten up and repeat again. After 6 reps, switch legs and we will repeat on the other side. Well done everybody, we're using loads of energy today. Our next upper body exercise is either a dumbbell elbow extension or a reverse fly. For the beginners, find a flat bench to use. Place one knee and one hand on the bench sideways in a semi-kneeling position. Hold a dumbbell in your hand that is not on the bed. Ensure your hip and knee on the bed are at right angles. Your hand on the bench is placed underneath your shoulder and your back is flat. Move your hand on the bench forward if you need to. Bring your arm holding the dumbbell up so your elbow is touching your side and bent to approximately 90 degrees. Slowly straighten or extend your elbow out behind you until your arm is straight against your body, then slowly bend the elbow again to the starting position. Repeat 8 times, then switch sides. Complete 3 sets on each side. For our intermediates, it's the same action, but instead of half kneeling, sit on the edge of a bench, feet flat on the floor and with a slight incline forward of the trunk. Bring both arms holding a dumbbell in each hand up to the side of your body. Slowly straighten both arms out behind you and return to the starting position. Repeat this 8 times for 3 sets. And for our advanced option, it's a reverse fly. Sit on the edge of the bench, feet flat on the floor, back straight and a dumbbell in each hand. Incline the trunk forward slightly and bring both hands and dumbbells together in front of your chest. Keeping your elbows bent to about 90 degrees, move both your hands away from your chest, making a W shape in the air. Then slowly bring them forward again to the starting position. Repeat 8 times. Great work everyone! Our last core exercise for the session is a side plank. When doing a side plank, the key technique is the same as doing a front one. Switch your lower abdominal muscles on, but try not to brace your stomach. Keep your elbow under your shoulder. Ensure your shoulders, hips, ankles or knees are in line. And remember not to hold your breath. Keep breathing slowly in and out throughout the exercise. The beginner option is from your knees using a shorter lever. The intermediate option is from your feet, so a longer lever adding more difficulty to the exercise. The advanced option is using a Swiss ball to lean on with your elbow instead of the floor. By using an unstable surface, it increases the complexity of the exercise. Well done everyone! That's our strength component all done for the session. Now it's time for our fitness. Our fitness session today is an oldie but a goodie, stair running or stair climbing. So find a set of stairs, they can be inside or outside, set your timer and let's go. Aim for 5 minutes of continuous movement. You can run up and down the stairs or run up and walk down or walk both up and down. Pace yourself so you can continue for the whole 5 minutes without stopping. You can alternate between running and walking if you need to. And that's our session complete for today. And as we've learnt, hydration is very important during and after exercise, so grab a drink of water and let's get started on our recovery. As normal, let's start with our active recovery, walking to help slow down your heart rate and respiratory rate. As you are walking, sip on some water to help you rehydrate after our exercise session. Time for some mobility work. So let's get started with your favourite ones, whether it be thoracic, hips, shoulders or so on. Keep sipping on some water or electrolytes as you are doing these. Okay, onto our stretching now. Starting with the calves, moving on to our hamstrings, quads, glutes, lower back and upper body. Don't forget, if there's a certain stretch that you really like and it feels good for you, add it in.
So I think one of the things that probably has a really big effect on how we perform when we're out there on snow, but is not necessarily thought about too much, is actually our nutritional intake and how prepared we are, I suppose, from a nutritional perspective. And it's really easy to be, I suppose, ticking the boxes from a physical standpoint, but thinking about what we actually need to do from a nutritional point of view before we actually get out on snow and when we're out on snow as well. And I think really important to actually make sure our bodies have the right fueling, the right petrol in the tank, I suppose, to enable us to be able to do what we want to do out on snow. So thinking about, have I prepared well before I'm out on snow from a nutritional point of view? Have I eaten well? Am I getting hungry when I'm out on snow? And if you're getting hungry, it's probably a bit too late. So taking some snacks out with you. And then on the recovery side of things, am I putting the right things into my body after I've been out there, spending all this energy and having a great time with family and friends? So plenty of things to consider, but being on top of things from a nutritional point of view can definitely enable you to make the most out of your ski holiday, your competition, your training camp, whatever it is that you're doing.
And that's it for today's session. Did you know that we're over halfway now through our program? Don't forget to keep an eye on those recovery strategies that you've just learnt about and bring them into your next session. See you then.